after telling the American people that he was going to stay out of it related to his friends trying to acquire CNN and its parent company, Warner Brothers Discovery. Donald Trump has been secretly meeting with David Ellison, the Nepo baby son of the Ellison family, who owns Oracle, to try to not only advise on how to acquire CNN and Warner Brothers in their fight against Netflix, who wants to acquire the same assets, but is also, of course, in control of the major governmental regulator at the Department of Justice. And what did Donald Trump do to grease the skids, to put CNN in the hands of a buddy of his, to make it MAGA friendly? He fired the head of the antitrust division, Abigail Slater. I'm Michael Popak. Let's talk about secret meetings. Let's talk about the firing of the one person who would have been the safety valve against this transaction. And now the new reporting today that, oh, lo and behold, Warner Brothers is back in discussions with Donald Trump's favorite acquirer, the Ellison family, and is starting to turn its back against Netflix that put in the better offer. I'm Michael Popak. You're on Legal AF and Midas Touch Network. Let's get down to this news story on this holiday Monday. All right. From the perspective of media properties that are in play, CNN had always been considered at one point a crown jewel of the media empire, and Donald Trump has wanted to get CNN over to the right wing to join Fox, CBS, 60 Minutes, The Washington Post, ABC, and everybody else that he's abused. He's used a combination of working behind the scenes, putting his big fat thumb on the scale, manipulating the regulators that he controls, and then finding ways to have these transactions happen. We see Donald Trump, the deal maker, right? He already has American taxpayer dollars invested in half a dozen companies. Yes, you and I own a stake in half a dozen companies in the raw, rare earth minerals business, in steel, in semiconductors, computer chips, etc. Now, Donald Trump also is trying to get media to be pro-Trump. He's abused the Washington Post. I mean, willingly. Bezos owns it. And Bezos is busy giving Melania $40 million for a documentary nobody wants to watch, and then fires half of his newsroom almost in the same week. Now let's turn to Warner Brothers. Warner Brothers Discovery owns a lot of space on your cable box, or however you get your content, including CNN. Now, Netflix came forward first to try to acquire and put together a superior bid at about $30 a share, saying they would take the Hollywood studio, the movie studio of Warner Brothers, and the streaming service, but they wouldn't take CNN and allow Warner Brothers to sell CNN separately. That was for $30 a share. Then came forward Paramount, run by the Ellison family, friends of Donald Trump, to acquire the entirety of Warner Brothers Discovery, including CNN. That's the one that Donald Trump wants. In fact, when he was asked, Trump, during, I think, during a Kennedy Center event, I refuse to call it the other name, he was asked about the acquisition. And while he praised Netflix as being a really great company, he starts talking about market share, which is a monopoly antitrust concept that a company can't acquire too many other of its competitors, or it would be bad, not for Donald Trump, but usually bad for consumers. That's something that's regulated by the antitrust department of the Department of Justice, which at that moment, when Donald Trump said this next thing, was headed by Abigail Slater for the last 10 or 11 months. Play the clip of Donald Trump.
Should they be allowed to buy Warner Brothers? Should Netflix?
Well, that's the question. They have a very big market share. And when they have Warner Brothers, that share goes up a lot. So I don't know. That's going to be for some economists to tell. And also, and I'll be involved in that decision too.
Did they make?
They have a very big market share.
Did he make any guarantees to you about the merger if they do merge?
No, not at all. He came up. He was in the Oval Office last week. I have a lot of respect for him. He's a great person, but he's done one of the greatest jobs in the history of movies and other things. He's got a lot of interesting things happening aside from what you're talking about. But it is a big market share. There's no question about it. It could be a problem.
That led to a firestorm of protests. So Donald Trump decided to do it another way, right? He's been guiding as an advisor David Ellison, who's been meeting regularly in the last week